Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the recap of Explosive Pro Wrestling's Hot Summer's Night. It was our first event of the year and took place at Perth's hottest new sports bar, The Game. And what a spectacular show it was, and a great way to bring in 2015. Now, we started things off with Jay Taylor, the self-proclaimed hottest man alive, up against Hayden Zenith. Now, last year, Hayden Zenith got the better of Jay Taylor in the Invitational Tournament, and Jay Taylor, well, he wanted a little bit of payback. Let's have a look. Zenith was at his best in this matchup, throwing everything he had at Jay Taylor. Meanwhile, Jay Taylor was at his sleazy best, taking all the shortcuts he can and managed to get the victory via submission. We then had a four-way matchup, including the former hardcore champion, the Don Michael Morleone, the people's hero Marcus Pitt, everyone's favourite larrikin from the local Hughesy, and the new debuting rookie of Taylor King. It was a hard-fought matchup and the action was all over the place, but in the end, Marcus Pitt was victorious, making a bold statement for the start of 2015. We then had a triple threat matchup between three of EPW's hottest rising stars. There was Liam Mendel in there with Elliot Forbes, and of course the plus-size party animal Sam Fantastic. All three of these rookies showed there's a very bright future in Explosive Pro Wrestling, but just as the action was heating up, we saw a mystery man appear. He came through the curtain with a mask over his face wrapped in chains. Turns out this was none other than Bobby Marshall. He has returned to Explosive Pro Wrestling and he devoured every one of these rookies. Make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Marshall is back. Then it was time for tag team action. We saw the Dropkicks back for 2015 up against a brand new tag team. It's the newcomer of the Outlaw, Billy Williams, teaming up with the Bolly Boy, Eddie Bombay. Now this team's apparently going to be called Cowboys and Indians. I don't think Eddie Bombay is quite the Indian that Billy Williams had in mind, but that notwithstanding, another exciting tag team for the EPW Tag Team Division. But the real story out of this matchup was the Dropkicks. They were not on the same page from the very beginning. And as the match went on, tempers flared higher and higher. Then eventually, it was Scotty Ryan and Leo Pratt. They turned on each other. This brawl got so out of control, the locker room had to empty and try and pull these guys apart. And well, the action went all over the venue. And then it was announced later on that evening that at March the 7th at Cyril Jackson Rex and EPW's Gold Rush, we will see Scotty Ryan up against Leo Pratt in a one-on-one no disqualification matchup. Following that match, we had a highly anticipated matchup for the evening. It was the Messiah Davis Storm up against the Smashing Machine Chris Weiss. Two of the biggest names in all of Explosive Pro Wrestling put on a wrestling clinic from the get-go, matching hold for hold and move for move. Then just as the action was hitting its peak, Richter got involved, causing the disqualification, and therefore Chris Weiss was the winner. Then we had a singles matchup between the demented Jared Slate and the 2014 Rising Star Cup champion, Jordan Bishop. It was a great display by both of these youngsters, but in the end, with the dust boot, it was Jared Slate who was victorious. After that, we had a very special presentation of the brand new EPW Championship title belts to the new champions of the Headhunters. That's Devlin Reeves and Tyler Jacobs. Now, after receiving these brand new belts, both members of the Headhunters showed blatant disrespect. They threw down the EPW Tag Team titles and even spat on them. Having seen just enough of this disgraceful display, McMassive came out, made their presence felt, and attacked the Headhunters, brawling them out of the arena at the game. It was then time for your Hot Summer's Night main event where we saw Damian Slater, the 2014 Invitational Champion, up against the new EPW Champion, Mr. AK-47 Alex Kingston. From the second the bell rang, these guys threw everything they had into this matchup. Then just as things were heating up, from out of nowhere, McMassive and the Headhunters came brawling back through the crowd and into the ring. We then had more people enter from backstage into the ring and absolute chaos erupted. This resulting in the match becoming a no contest. Following that decision, we then had the announcement that this was now going to be a 10-man tag team matchup. So it was the team of Damian Slater, Davis Storm, the Don Michael Morleone, and the Headhunters up against Alex Kingston, Marcus Pitt, Chris Vice, and McMassive. And what an explosive matchup this was. 10 of the hottest wrestlers in the entirety of the company all going at it at the game. The action even spilled to the outside of the ring and got crazy. But when it was all said and done, Alex Kingston got the 1-2-3 victory, starting off 2015 in a spectacular way. But just when we thought it was the end of the show, once again the returning Bobby Marshall came out and attacked the new EPW champion. Now the next show is not until March the 7th, and if that's just too long for you to wait to see more explosive pro wrestling, well, as of right now, you can download or just rent Explosive Pro Wrestling on our Vimeo account. That's right, you can get Explosive Pro Wrestling's Reawakening 13 from EPW's Vimeo account right now. So go check it out by all means. But if you want to see EPW live, it happens March the 7th at the Cyril Jackson Rec Center. It's Explosive Pro Wrestling Gold Rush, and I want to see you there.